One of the things you'll notice when reading the book of Revelation are the numbers. These certain numbers keep popping up all over the place. And it might lead you to the conclusion that these might be symbolic in some ways, especially when one keeps popping up over and over and over again. And if you were to page to either the beginning or the end of the book of Revelation, something you won't find is an answer key to what these numbers mean. There's no little legend in the top left corner telling you what all the numbers mean. But what we can do as we read through the book of Revelation is we can take each instance that this number occurred and then make a conclusion based on the similarities that we see with where that number is used. And so here's an example. In Revelation, the number 7 pops up a lot. There's 7 churches at the beginning, 7 spirits of God, 7 stars, 7 candlesticks, 7 letters to the churches. Now, as we take that number, the number 7, we look at that specifically in the book of Revelation and look at it in that context. But because we let Scripture interpret Scripture as well, we look at that number in the context of the entire Bible. Are there other things that number 7 is associated with? And you will see a lot of connections with the number 7 in the Old Testament. Here's some examples of that. God finished creating everything and rested on the 7th day. The 7th day was the Sabbath. There were 7 great annual festivals, and 4 of these great festivals took place on the 7th month of the year. Every 7th year was a sabbatical year, and 7 cycles of 7 years, so 49 years, was the year of Jubilee. There's even more than just those. So if we took all of those occurrences together, we may conclude, as others have as well, that the number 7 is involved with a number of the covenant. Whenever we're talking about God's covenant with his people, the number 7 is used. Now, when we take into account the genre of Revelation, we can consider that other numbers may carry symbolism with it as well. And so here's some of the other ones that people have come up with in Revelation. The number 3.5 and multiples of 3.5 are used, and obviously 3.5 is half of 7, and so when 3.5 is used, it's normally associated with something evil. The number 4 is often used in connection to the creation or the world. Number 10 is the number of completeness. And number 12 is a reference to the entire church, the Holy Christian Church. And so, besides just, random trivia, why are these numbers so important? Why is it important to know why these are symbolic and maybe what some of the symbols are? Well, they're meant to communicate truth and comfort. Now let me give you an example. In Revelation 7, you'll find John recording about the 144,000. And if you didn't understand that this number was symbolic, if you thought that this number was literal, it might do the opposite of giving you comfort. Because it might communicate to you that only 144,000 people are going to be in heaven, and that's not that many people. And that might remove comfort from you, wondering if you're going to be a part of that 144,000. But when you read Revelation correctly, knowing that this is a symbolic number as the multiple of 12 and a multiple of 10 combined together, you come to learn that this is the total number of the entire church and the complete number of the church, Holy Christian Church, will be in heaven with Jesus. Meaning that everyone who believes in him will be in heaven with Jesus. That he's not going to miss anyone. No one's going to be left out, but the entire church will be with Jesus forever in heaven. And that gives us amazing comfort. So numbers, and how to read these numbers, they are important. And I pray as you read through the book of Revelation that they do just that. They communicate what they're supposed to communicate to you. They communicate truth and comfort. God bless you as you continue to read through the book of Revelation.